Firstly, what are your emotions after that?
Well, first of all, you have to congratulate Man United for the victory. It happened in a really strange way, to be fair, because we were very dominant in the first half an hour, scored the goal, had another 2 brilliant chances to score, and then we gave them the goal, which is very unusual from our side, and that changed and shifted the momentum and the energy a little bit. After that, we dropped the standards, especially with things that we have to do much better with the ball, and the game wasn't in that much control. And then they had 2 magic moments. I mean, the 2 goals that they scored from Dorku and Cunha, credit to them, because in big games you need those moments. And we were carrying a little bit of that negativity a little bit, and the lack of fluidity that we needed. But we made the changes, we created some momentum, scored the 2-2, and you could feel game on. Everything changed immediately. The next action on is 1-against-1 in the 6-yard box. We expect, okay, something's we're gonna get from there. It goes to a goal kick, they close the structure, 1 long ball, 1 pass, and Cunha scores and changes again the momentum and the shift of the ball. So a really painful one. But it's now time to be very, very close to those players that are giving us so much joy, performances, and it's time to be very, very close to them and support them, because we all want to win.
So from 1-0, and as you say, control of the match, I don't think anyone would dispute that. Can you tell us in what areas the standards dropped?
Well, especially with the ball, with simple things. Every time we regain the ball, what we did with that ball after regaining it, certain clearances that stretch us on the pitch. And it's a team that the moment they have a space and the ball lands, especially to certain players, they are very dangerous, and we knew that. So yeah, we have to learn from it. Defeats are part of winning, and you have to take them like this, because they need to be reminded how good they are.
Is that almost your message to the supporters as much as anything? The players need you now.
I don't have to do that, because they know. We need them in any moment is when we don't win. After it's easy, but when we draw or when we don't win or lose a game, that's the moment that we have to show really the togetherness, the unity, the energy that we're going to put it to get where we want. And defeats are part of that for us and for any team.
Do you think from 1-0 it got tentative, it got nervous? Do you think was it the weight of what you're trying to achieve that affected maybe the atmosphere and certainly the performance?
I wouldn't use that word, because I mean, we played in Stamford Bridge in the semi-final. We were brilliant against Inter, one of the best teams in Europe. We were brilliant, but sometimes you don't have that day, and we don't have that day. We have to do the simple things much better than we've done today. And on top of that, when you look at the goals and the goal that Dorku scored from there, with that angle, someone chasing the top corner, because the only place he can put it, sometimes you have to give credit to the opponent as well.
Yeah, obviously we can, over my shoulder right now, you can see that second goal. Yeah. Handball?
I haven't looked at it. It's fine. It's gone, and we can do nothing about it.
Do you think how you react to this as a team, maybe even as a club, is going to define if you have the season you want to have and achieve what you want to achieve?
But we have to do what especially the players deserve, which is to be very close to them and remind them every day how good they are and how much joy we have in next to them. And that's exactly that. And I take responsibility for everything, and we move on, and in 3 days we have another game.
Is there anything, I mean, maybe you don't think they need this, but do you feel like they need freeing up, and is there anything you can do to help them with that, whether it's tactical or whether it's emotional?
I don't think so. I think they're free. I mean, 3 days ago, how free and fluent they looked in Milan, it was unbelievable. So no excuses. We accept the defeat, you congratulate the opponent, and we move forward.
Still top of the league.
Thank you.
And what credit then goes to Michael Carrick? Because it does, in the last 2 weeks, look like a team transformed.
Yeah, it does, obviously. And Harry makes a good point. A lot of their players are back now. There's a full group. They've got full weeks together. There's no other distractions. They can focus on the league form. And they're producing. But as we know, you win 1-2 games for Man United, fantastic. Particularly to beat City and to come to Arsenal, where... But I felt United would get a result today. I was thinking maybe more of a draw, but I always felt United would turn up, and they've got enough quality players. They get that, they've got momentum now into their season, and all of a sudden you're looking at United and you're thinking, great chance of top 4. 1 or 2 months ago you're saying, no, I don't think they'll do it. But now if they play with that confidence and belief, then you give the manager credit, you give his staff credit, and the players are turning up. Simple as that.
Would you give it Carrick then, now, Roy?
Job? No, you're being silly now. No,
No,
I'm serious.
no, would you give him the job? He's had two great performances.
Yeah, two great performances, but anybody can win 2 games. That's what he does at the end of the season. And even if they do get into 4th, I still wouldn't be convinced he's the man for the job. Absolutely not. I still think they need a bigger and better manager. But he's got the opportunity. What a chance it is for him. And you know what? He's taking it. So, fair play to him.
Micah, we're here till 8 o'clock. We've got all that time to get into the weeds of Manchester United's future. But in terms of Arsenal, Patrick, what does this defeat do to their title challenge now? They're still 4 points clear.
They're still 4 points clear, but there's still some question about the mental strength of the team. I think that performance will be really disappointed because it's not the fact that they lose the game, but it's the way they lose the game. I think there was a lack of creativity. They didn't create enough. I think Saka on the right or Trossard on the left-hand side didn't produce enough to really create danger for United. So they will be, I think, in this situation, a leader to lift the spirit of the team. There will be this momentum where we will need somebody to make them understand that when they are on the field, they have to play. I think this is a team who are full of quality, and to play with more energy and to take more risk because they've got the quality. And it was a disappointed performance because I felt that they didn't play with this kind of freedoms to express themselves.
But in terms of leaders, Micah, they had the captain Odegaard on the pitch. They took him off before the hour mark in that quadruple change.
Yeah, but you lead in different ways, don't you? He leads on the field in terms of his creativity. Didn't really get into the game today. I think Patrick raises a good point in terms of that psychological battle, knowing that you want to win today. You win today, it puts you in good stead. And then it's against United. Okay, they had a good result last week, but can you get over the line? There was a lack of urgency, a lack of energy, and a lack of real someone who wanted to take the game to United, to get on the ball and make something happen. And that was the worrying thing. When you got Saka on the pitch, when you got Trossard on the pitch, Jesus had talked him up before the game, and he wanted one of those players to step up in the big games. And today, they went missing.
Do you know what that's called? It's pressure. Pressure's on Arsenal today. You see the other results, and they're in a great position. They've got everything going for them. They're doing really well in all the competitions, etc. And that's pressure. They're feeling the pressure. It's how they deal with it over the next month or two. That's what's cost them over the last few years when they've gotten themselves in good positions. And the sign over the last few weeks, now we're going back to the Liverpool game, the Forest game, and today, losing that momentum. If you step back, they'll have to have a reset and still step back and go, we're still in a great position. We've got to get our momentum back, and that almost a little bit of confidence. I can't believe they don't look like a confident team where they are in the league and what they're doing in the other competitions. You'd almost have to sit in the dressing room and go, what's up with everybody? Play the game. They're obviously playing the occasion. They started getting a bit of joy when they were throwing the subs on and they were gambling, they were playing maybe off the cuff. You're thinking, okay, they got back to 2-2, and for a brilliant goal, they might have got a draw. So they've got to get back to basics and start embracing this challenge instead of being frightened of it.
Put a plan into place at somewhere like the Emirates, isn't it?
Yeah, everything's got to be perfect. But it does sharpen your focus. You know, your 3 shots. I don't think it's a coincidence. You know, you don't get many chances when you go into places like the Emirates. Arsenal didn't defend horrifically at all. I mean, 2 unbelievable goals. Obviously, they will think they can avoid the first goal. But it's just amazing, isn't it? You know, when you sit in this seat, or Michael Carrick, or the player, sometimes you just don't know. It's just that confidence, that new belief, that something. And we can't quantify it. But having confidence as a player, having that belief again, it turns you into Superman. I mean, it's quite incredible. And as I say, you can't quantify it. You can't say how or why it comes. But as soon as you start feeling it again, and we've just seen in 2 games, Manchester United have put in 2 unbelievable performances. I actually thought they played better against Manchester City last week. But they were so clinical today. 3 half chances, and all 3 of them in the back of the net against a serious side who I still think will go on and win the league, but that's a real statement from Manchester United.
Yeah, so 1-1 at half-time, 5 minutes into the second half. A player who, until Boxing Day, had never scored in his Manchester United career, now has 3 and 6. Will he score a better one in his career?
No, that's why his teammates were doing that one too. I mean, and you know what's you need a little bit of luck sometimes in football. Takes a bit of a Bruno takes a bad touch. Dorgu misses it. It bounces up to him, and the strike is so pure. And sometimes on that volley, it just needs to sit up to you. I love this great little 1-2 initially, but Bruno takes a baggy touch, volleys it into the deck, misses it, and smashes it top bin. What a finish. I mean, he's absolutely on fire at the moment. It's amazing.
Both goals here, you know, wide player coming inside, and we just saw the two wide players there, Saliba and Timber. They got distracted by, in this situation, it was Luke Shaw making a run down the left-hand side, and it just gave Dorgu the chance to come inside unmarked, and exactly the same happened for the third goal with Cunha, which we'll obviously go on to see. But those players drifting off the wide area with an overlapper on the left-hand side really caused Arsenal problems in those two goals. But talk about the strike, it was incredible. Cutting across it, so it was always going away from the goalkeeper. I guess you think, I can get it. And, it's going further and further away.
Yeah. And he didn't even get a touch to it, you know. No. That's how pure the strike was, you know. It was even better because when you watch it, you'll see, I think it's Trossard comes across Dorgu just as he hits it. So it's an even better strike, you know. And coming off the crossbar like that always looks brilliant.
And just to clarify, VAR looked at the appeals for handball. Inconclusive was the...
Yeah, it looked like it came off the hip, didn't it? But certainly, yeah, I agree with that. Even if it did brush the arm, it was inconclusive if it did or not. I thought it was the hip. And Arsenal players, of course, they appealed for it like you would. But no, I think that was the right decision.
Patrick Dorgu scored more Premier League goals under Michael Carrick than Ruben Amorim. There you go.
Whatever they're doing. Honestly, he's flying. The whole team's flying. Mo mentioned sport, often confidence, one of the most undervalued things. United players have confidence and they believe they're defending well, and they got players on the counter that can hurt. So I think the blueprint right now is set for Man United.
But after that, the set piece kings did get back on level terms. Joint most goals from corners. We know how dangerous they are, and they did it again.
Yeah, they did. You know, and it's, you know, they practice them day in, day out at the training ground. But it's all about blocking the goalkeeper and then getting up the knockdowns, and that's exactly what they do. You know, and if you watch, I think it's Saliba on Lehmann's. He pushes one of the Man United players into him. Lehmann, I don't know whether he needs to come out for that, but sometimes you're better off if there's a load of players there, just stick on your line. You know, and he's really scrappy. He gets pushed out of the way, and as you can easily see there, he's over the line. But you know, Arsenal are really good at this, but it still ended up in a defeat.
You know, it's interesting. You watch that, and Marino runs around Lamens from the other side. That must throw him, because he's probably thinking, why is somebody in my goal? Do you know what I mean? And he's the one that actually scores. It's quite remarkable, really, because there's so many bodies in there. Watch Marino. He runs around Lamens on the other side.
But it's all, that's all, they do that, you know, because it's either Saliba, it used to be Ben White. I think Ben White actually gets pushed into the post by Declan or Cunha or whatever. But but like you said, with Marino going around and then backing in to block the goalkeeper, it's just so hard for him. But
because you can't really, you'd think some goalkeepers backpedal, don't they? Like the say from Lamens. Yeah. But you can't backpedal because Marino's in the way, isn't he?
Yeah. No, exactly.
So Mikel Arteta's waving Arsenal forward, going for the 3-2 win, and then Matheus Cunha had other ideas. I mean, you have to tell everyone, you called this before he was anywhere near the penalty area. You just got that feeling that something special was coming from the player.
He drifted in as well. I watched him drift in from the left-hand side. And as soon as he touched it, I just thought, this is where he comes alive. He's unbelievable outside the box, long-range shots. See him come inside there. So he makes a run inside, and then Bruno goes on the outside and pins the fullback. So now he's on his own in the central area, and eyes light up. As soon as he picked the ball up here, first touch, I said, goal. Here's a goal. He's just got an amazing effort. He's got power, he's got accuracy, he knows how to set himself, he's calm in this situation, he uses a man to bend the ball round. This is one of the most dangerous players in the Premier League in this type of area. And I just thought, this is a huge chance, and bang, back of the net before you could blink. Incredible. I think this lad's a serious player. Yes, you know, he's a bit of a maverick. He could probably frustrate at times, but I think he's got pace. He's got a lovely touch. He can score goals. I was surprised that he didn't start, but on saying that, you know, after a performance against Man City that they put in, I can understand why Michael Carrick didn't change things. But he'll start next game. You know, no question about it, because it looks like Dorgu might have had a hamstring. Tell you what, I was surprised as well. I wasn't sure about Šeško coming on. I thought that was a bit of a risky one. I thought he might bring Mason Mount on, but anything Michael Carrick touches turns to goal.
Who are you sat there? That's a question. Michael Carrick, who was sitting next to us recently. I mean, that was some strike to win it, wasn't it?
Do you know? Can we see it again? Because there's a lot. There's a lot more to it than just that. The finish is amazing. Obviously, it's the last part. Look at Šeško. That set. That's brilliant. By the way, he gets him in play. Watch this little ball from Kobe. It's honestly, it's really good football. It's that Šeško does his job. Kobe does his job. Cunha's obviously the icing on the cake. But look at Bruno, Kobe, beautiful football players. 3 of them combining. And Šeško's run actually slows down Gabriel for a second to allow him to get that shot off. So, and the thing is, we've said about the pressure at Man United and the pressure of playing at the club with the shirt. Cunha don't feel that. Do you see the way he took that ball and he finished, and then he went over to celebrate? He's like, this is me. And I think that's what you have now with Mbeumo and Cunha. You've got lads that are Ahmad that are ready to at 26, at 27 to deal with the pressure. And it looked like they enjoyed that today rather than feel the burden of playing for a massive club.
Yeah, I agree. When I'm watching that, I'm looking at that and I'm thinking, like, that's a side foot, like what we were talking about earlier. Side foot with pace. You can't, and when I'm watching Reyes straight away, and he seems to get trapped behind, I think it's Gabriel, and he has a little look down the other side, and then by the time he's trying to get across, it's too late. He gets nowhere near it.
OK, let's get some Arsenal reaction now. Here is their captain, Martin Odegaard.
Got all that time to get into the weeds of Manchester United's future. But in terms of Arsenal, Patrick, what does this defeat do to their title challenge now? They're still 4 points clear.
They're still 4 points clear, but there's still some question about the mental strength of the team. I think that performance will be really disappointed, because it's not the fact that they lose the game, but it's the way they lose the game. I think there was a lack of creativity. They didn't create enough. I think Saka on the right or Trossard on the left-hand side didn't produce enough to really create danger for United. So they will be, I think, in this situation, a leader to lift the spirit of the team. There will be this momentum where we will need somebody to make them understand that when they are on the field, they have to play. I think this is a team who are full of quality, and to play with more energy and to take more risk, because they've got the quality. And it was a disappointed performance, because I felt that they didn't play with this kind of freedoms to express themselves.
But in terms of leaders, Micah, they had the captain Odegaard on the pitch. They took him off before the hour mark in that quadruple change.
Yeah, but you lead in different ways, don't you? He leads on the field in terms of his creativity. Didn't really get into the game today. I think Patrick raises a good point in terms of that psychological battle, knowing that you want to win today. You win today, it puts you in good stead. And then it's against United. Okay, they had a good result last week, but can you get over the line? There was a lack of urgency, a lack of energy, and a lack of real someone who wanted to take the game to United, to get on the ball and make something happen. And that was the worrying thing. When you got Saka on the pitch, when you got Trossard on the pitch, Jesus had talked him up before the game, and he wanted one of those players to step up in the big games. And today, they went missing.
Do you know what that's called? It's pressure. Pressure's on Arsenal today. And you see the other results, and they're in a great position. They've got everything going for them. They're doing really well in all the competitions, etc. And that's pressure. They're feeling the pressure. It's how they deal with it over the next month or two. That's what's cost them over the last few years when they've gotten themselves in good positions. And the sign over the last few weeks, now we're going back to the Liverpool game, the Forest game, and today, losing that momentum. If you step back, they'll have to have a reset and still step back and go, we're still in a great position. We've got to get our momentum back, and that almost a little bit of confidence. I can't believe they don't look like a confident team where they are in the league and what they're doing in the other competitions. You'd almost have to sit in the dressing room and go, what's up with everybody? Play the game. They're obviously playing the occasion. They started getting a bit of joy when they were throwing the subs on and they were gambling. They were playing maybe off the cuff. You're thinking, okay, they got back to 2-2, and for a brilliant goal, they might have got a draw. So they've got to get back to basics and start embracing this challenge instead of being frightened of it.
Yeah, and results have gone against them as well this weekend, with City winning yesterday.